Let's talk about that for a minute. The socially renowned broadcast from Sun God Records chairman and People's Love Cult founder. That's right. Mr. fucking Pope. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is probably a little too late for me to be staying up, but at the same time, I'm a grown man, so I can do that. Tonight's episode is called Create or Hate. That is what I would like to invite you to possibly consider, just by means of due process and the freedom of thought, and sometimes the freedom of speech. I want to, first of all, explain a little things about the last episode, and explain to you why I'm at this very late hour in the night, the time in which I find more inspiring and more, just a lot more exciting to record things and put it out there. I think that the last episode I did was in a really bad time of the day, and it's not really my style. I'm not one of those by day podcasters. I have this great, amazing day job called being Mr. Pope, which is it's a full-time job, whether you like it or not. And I just want to give you some updates. Working now on a self-help book, but it's a self-help book in the form of audio. This is a milestone in the world of psychology and science both, and it's also a personal journey of mine. The next album I'm working on is called The Beginner's Guide to Disillusionment. Now, what is the meaning of that word? Don't worry about that. That's all. That's boring. Let's talk about some fun stuff. My recent thing has been getting a little closer to the people who I don't really know if they listen to me or not. I'm pretty sure they don't know what the hell I am. I have this love of experimenting with reaching new audiences, new groups of people. But I learned this from very important people in my life. And I would like to start this show off by giving them the credit that they deserve. I'm sorry, this has got to be it's gonna be hard for me because I might get emotional, because a lot of these guys I lost touch with, and they're not guys that I'm not one of those musicians. This might disappoint you if you're a musician, that there wasn't a Keith Richards to me. Love Bob Dylan, but there wasn't a guy, like a Jim Morrison, that white guy with long hair I wanted to be like, that I wanted to become. I really don't feel that sort of way about anybody. If you do, you got issues. The people who inspired me were the people I knew early on, and but the people who really did it for me were the people who inspired me to start my own label. Not in a business prospect, not in something out of reach. And I'm a big fan of P. Diddy, big fan of Quincy Jones. In fact, I watched his documentary today. Not the new Netflix one. That stuff I just kind of save for last resort. I watched a documentary, and you should too, called I'm Quincy Jones, Listen Up. And it was one of the best things I've ever seen. Because what it meant to me was, here's somebody who is not only a success and a legend and a brilliant mind in his own way, but his civil duty was and still is to send this message to the next person. The important thing that I grabbed from that was that we don't have someone who isn't already a legend today in my category, my age group. So it's sad, and it's a little disenchanting, it's a little disheartening. And that's where the disillusionment comes in. When you have an album and you are in the music industry, it does not matter what kind of music you make. Because there is a certain attitude and there's a certain approach that people are looking for. And that's just really, that's a different world. That is, to me, it's a very, well, I'm trying to explain. I know what it is in my mind, but this is the issue with podcasting is that, these things work in our favor. Because we accept these realities. These things that we are still trying to understand, but I'm really just speaking to millennials right now. We are the loudest voices in the room, and we should be proud of that. Kind of. We could be. We will one day, but it's a little too early. So when you're a millennial making music, we have these heroes, we have these great people. But when we choose to do the research to find how these artists became, you understand that there were people that actually were a part of that journey, that they found the right person. And there's a lie that has merged very, very closely with celebrity culture. And that's the bravado and the ego. That's this myth that what we're really doing, we did ourselves. So I have made this mistake myself in saying this. And it would be dumb, it would be stupid, it would be idiotic for me to not mention Derek Drop Braxton, Evan Souza, Steve Lessick, even my father and my mother, as the people who made this journey possible for me. It would be stupid for me to not tell the truth that I met Kevin Gates in 2014. The possibility of working with him was there. Or at least I thought. But it doesn't matter, because what I believed in was what he told me. When I said, I'm a big fan of you, and Kevin Gates looked right back at me and he said, I'm a big fan of you. Trust me. And I still do this day. And I walked the streets at home that night. Had a picture with the paparazzi. Not to be featured on, but when I moved up north, when I finally left South Florida, I felt closer to a cultural mecca. And I felt closer to a happening, but I also understood things were rapidly changing. And I protested and marched. I did my with Black Lives Matter. I was very passionate about that. And I was also a white kid. And I was right there, and I knew that the only contribution I could make outside of me playing in the vein of Bob Dylan, because yes, I have gone through this. I'm very proud of making the attempt to be a part of history. But this is what happened when I protested with Black Lives Matter. Fear came into my life. It came into my heart. And this was something that I realized I was in the middle of transcendence. I was in the middle of crisis. And there was a big, great confusion. And thankfully, at that time, we had a president who believed in the American people. And not just himself. Not just the stupid, brash ability to fool and manipulate and believe that they are above the law. So let's welcome, as I did in my last show, the impeachment. Let's welcome this impeachment moving forward. And in his words,
let's get it done now. Let's get it done quick. Because I'm waiting on a goddamn Big Mac right the fuck now.
I don't even want to do his voice anymore. I'm getting tired of making these impressions.
Because the guy's crazy.
He's insane. And not every person in power has ever acted like this and it not end fucking horribly. But I don't want to give it time. This is why I have chosen. I mean, I made a decision a long time ago to channel all this stuff in the most mysterious way possible, and also the most exciting. Because I've found myself forming my voice in this music that I'm actually making. And doing this without trying to be the star in the center of things. When I also protested with Black Lives Matter, fear struck in because they're saying, yeah, we're probably going to go to jail. We might get arrested. And during that time, I was recording my first album. And conversations were happening that didn't promise, but there was a prospect there. And I thought about that. So yes, I left. And then during that time, this strange reality that was an homage piece in a sense to civil rights, as much as it was it's the beginning of a militarized police state that we live in now. And the guy who, this fucking guy, Trump, this asshole, this son of a bitch, this whore, this bastard, this slob, this fat fucking pig. I know I keep going on. Okay, it's hard not to. But the idea of the People's Love Cult came from the day that I was on Black Lives Matter with them, marching with them. And what I saw was people walking into traffic. It went from this I played my songs. I stood right there and everything was going great. It felt great, but it felt terrifying because it became us chanting in unison, I can't breathe, and being instructed to do so. It went from hearing this problem, this thing. How can we fix it? We had a president who his mission, his journey was to do this through the system. And, we shouldn't be shocked. We shouldn't be surprised that directly following that presidency,
we got this. Hey, me again. They have an insurance plan, Lindsay.
And I'm in the fucking doctor's office. I'm about to get fucking surgery the other day, and this is what I'm watching. And I live in Boca Raton. In Boca Raton, there's some old people that really don't like him. And then there's some old people that love him. Because they're at death's door. And this is what they want to die with, this beautiful dream. If you are into this guy, you're the same moron who's a nerd who loves Elon Musk. Because Elon Musk only guarantees that celebrity works, that power works, and it's kind of offensive and insulting and degrading to massive populations when that celebrity just starts having a say on everything, offering solutions. Hey, it's just the celebrity here. Yeah, that's bad. No, climate change? Well, duh, stop eating meat. That shouldn't be the priority.
The way to change is to tell people how to live their lives.
There are people that do that and they get their asses kicked. I'm not saying we should do this, but no, we should do this. I mean, just because it would be hilarious. You just, I know that we want to be all concerned and we want to be really upset on Facebook. We're really upset on Facebook. We share this thing. And then we then we can have the option to donate to some. Do you know where that goes to? And then it gets so bad that a meme is shared. Hey, read this. don't donate to Goodwill. This is what they do. Don't donate to this. Don't donate to that. So just create. Don't hate. It's a lot simpler to create. You'll never. I got mad at Bandcamp, the ACLU, for something very silly and dumb. But I went into a whole war. This is when I first was starting out Sun God Records. Got into a whole war. Because I said donating to the ACLU, it would not, we'd be stupid. I said ethically, and I still believe this, that ethically, we were making the same mistake by throwing money some way. Working the way that these people work. The reason why Trump was interested in this is because
what's gonna really happen? Shit. Show's getting canceled. Don't know if I'm gonna make it through another wife. I might die. Fuck.
You know, it's just...
Reagan. President. He was old like me. Politics. That's the way it's supposed to be.
So, you know, the man is a... I don't even want to... I hate, you know, because I don't even want to give something to describe him. Because I can only describe what it is for me. And when I say that, I refer to the fact that we have a Trump-toting governor, or Governor Ron DeSantis, who won solely because he voiced his support. But it's also in this, he's a successor to this league of old white money in Florida. And by the way, in Florida politics, for those of you listeners in other places, whatever. Just I'll imagine that I have somebody listening that's not, you know, supportive. And thank you for the supportive people that know me, that support this. Can you believe that? That those guys exist? Guys and gals? Days, too? They and thems? Sorry, we gotta cover this. This, you know, this is my sponsored content, my former sponsored content. Just consideration. Try and understand. What was I talking about? Hold on a second. Yeah, I had to actually rewind that, so you assholes aren't making it easier for me to just take you all in consideration. Being a populist as I am. I'm more of a centralist. I don't even know what that means. Who cares what that means? So, yeah, so in Florida, in state, and especially Boca Raton, it's very difficult to find out not only who's running in local elections, but what their political parties are. They send you things like, oh, it's Republican, duh.
And I am very goddamn angry
at the religious right, who aren't really religious, they're just more secular corporate white, right? And they terrify people, and I just want to explain that it's hard to find out in this state, which should know better, just what political parties the people there running. I mean, it's so bad. I mean, again, we have a criminal mayor. I mean, I'm talking about the current one, Scott Singer from Jeopardy, who's really just an actor. And they're using the Trump thing, this Weinstein effect of him being in office and following through it. They have a Trump impersonator on local things because the Trump rally was just advertised. And man, I saw pictures from that, and I swear to God that this chubby beard thing is going back to its roots, its redneck roots, because I see guys I would probably meet at a festival, maybe guys I've known from festivals, they just got tired of the music thing and did the classic, we're going into the Republican thing, we're doing the right, we're getting this right. Because the reality is that the Republicans have always classically favored. I mean, well, yeah, always. They've classically favored the free market and the trade of rich people being the money. It's the money, man. Come on, where's the fucking money? And just take a look at states like Alabama and Mississippi, where we have this federal wage thing, and that's a meme I'm proud of, is the federal minimum wage thing. And I'm proud of you for sharing it if you have. The federal minimum wage, $7.25, except in states like Mississippi and Alabama, where how much do I get paid? You get paid whatever the fuck we tell you to, boy. And it's this. That's the attitude. That's insulting. That doesn't really. Even if you want to start a business, how are you going to start it? Like on the side of the road? It's. And then again, people on Facebook, guys who like Elon Musk, who aren't Elon Musk. Elon Musk clearly likes Elon Musk. That's why he has the Grimes girlfriend. And I said something today where I called him a nerd, and the nerds went crazy. The nerds went so crazy that I had somebody say, "You posted a whole status about it. Your fault." And then the one person, so I delete stuff like this because, this is my damn property. This is my fucking property online. You son of a bitch. You have no idea what kind of power I have. Click. So isn't that satisfying? But it shouldn't be satisfying. Just like it shouldn't be rewarding to have the adornment when somebody like Elon Musk, this guy who everyone loves, it doesn't seem to be anything bad about him going on. It's bad to. It's stupid and it's offensive. The successful person doesn't need you on Facebook defending him to a person that you have a closer range to. You could find out something heinous and insidious about this famous person. Don't you follow the Bill Cosby's and the Louis C.K.'s thing? The Michael Jacksons, the Jeffrey Epstein. But what this really has to do... Oh yeah, R. Kelly, that's just get them all out there. And yeah, lock them up. This is a great thing. Doesn't matter what kind of industry I represent or what kind of thing I do. If you're a sicko, okay, you can maintain a distance from people. If it's your job, that should be even better. What the fuck is up with these people trying to make lifelong friends with their coworkers? It's just kind of dumb. But this is with the world we live in, with the economy now. It's so much more impossible. This nepotism has gone into a fascist direction. Or communist, if you're one of those wackos that just wants to. It's just, the lines are blurred. Extremist direction. Where if you're not friends with your coworkers, you're going to lose a job. So that's a problem. That's not a problem that government stepping in can handle either. Nobody gives a shit in that sector. Why? Because of a certain branch that lives in the dark fucking ages. In fact, some of them dress in gowns that look like they're pilgrims, and I'm talking about the lawyers and the judges protected by the lobbyists. People like Gerrymander and Uncle Sam. Okay? They're cartoon depictions, and there's a bigger problem always. There always will be. So you can go ahead and you can like the person, the famous person, and then this is what was insulting, is that it's the same problem because there's the money. The money that's involved in all this stuff. The money that really goes into creating this great lie. It's disgusting on both ends. It's really unethical, just like it's insulting and unethical to find out that your favorite place, New York City, is the dream of a very hateful, racist, dying man who specifically in the land that had the ability to do this put every minority into the shitty part. But this is where America is amazing. Despite all these hardships and these times, we came together. We've actually come together in things being really fucking bad. And my place is to do it through music, through podcasting. You know, I know that I insulted podcasts, but on my last show, but I said that I'm not getting paid for it, not because it's out of greed, but because of out of sheer fact that I don't want to lie to you. I don't really feel comfortable in doing that. But, you know, you don't want to tell people how good it's really going. Because this is another reality. Is that there are vipers out there. There are people who are going to use this to somehow be a part of it. And that's the ego that I deal with today. And there's a lot of special cases. Specifically, the fact that my royalties right now are only $4 in a certain streaming site, but that's fine. I'm lucky that I'm on there. But I'm not I'm lucky enough to have been deleted before from labels. I'm lucky enough to have been ghosted, but these are games. These are games that people, you know, cuz it's just I don't want an agent or a manager anytime soon, specifically because it would just be a financial, it would just be, you know, I already charge, you don't really need it. Again, you don't need it. It is nice to have, though, but it should be the right people. Because nepotism should work in your favor. I am not the kind of guy who's going to be going to a restaurant, making the friends, I you know, especially if I work for Cracker Barrel. The hell am I going to do with my Cracker Barrel friends? Just like at the phone room, the drug addict people. Well, we go and we smoke crack after work. Well, what the fuck? What if you don't like smoking crack? What if that kind of thing is historically bad for humanity? Historically built upon cheap, disgusting pigs. And I'm really, you know, I'm talking about the Reagan guy. But the weight goes way deeper than that. You know, J. Edgar Hoover. All these, you know, these operations, these psyops, you know, it's and then you see, but we don't really, you know, I'm skeptical as a person, but that's the sheer fact that I know they have bozos at the front. They have foot soldiers. They have shields, like the dumb fucking cops who arrested me. And the idiot anger management counselor, Marion Stam, that I'm dealing with now. You know, and the egocentric, pompous judge, Moses Stevens, you know, who are just all, you know, kicking back. And because I'm not sold on this, you know, they're running me through an SOR program. I'm never having my voice heard in this damn case, but I'm not going to fucking lose. It doesn't matter the result. I have a different definition of losing. So I'm never going to lose because I have a different definition of losing. Losing, I don't know, I believe I mentioned this before. Losing is being unsatisfied. Is accepting a failure. Not one that others have decided for you, but accepting that complacency. So, you can go ahead and send me pictures of a meme that's not Elon Musk wiping his face with his tears with a sack of money, when really it's a classic nerd movie, Zombieland, and that movie's just a sensational piece of shit for nerds, because horror movies have just been taken so out of context, especially at the time that film was released, to the point they've got to make it completely fucking ridiculous. Same thing with Baby Yoda. Let's talk about that for a minute. Fuck Disney. Fuck Disney. Fuck Disney. Of course Fox is going to sell their shit to them. Nobody gives a shit about Marvel because there is no justice or integrity in that whatsoever. And it's, come on. Duh. I'm not saying I saw that coming, not like I knew that was going to happen, but at the same time, it doesn't surprise me. Baby Yoda. I wasn't going to see this movie, and that's coming from a huge Herzog fan. You guys know who that is, right? Werner Herzog? He's the guy that, I don't know, whatever. You probably don't care. You don't care, you know. Because if I mentioned something about Werner Herzog to an audience, I'd have to go in this long line of explaining things and how these, you know, it's just, there is something positive, though, to be said about good things being recognized at just about the right time. Because Herzog made a film, Werner Herzog, German director. He's somebody known for seeing the humanity in places with no quality of life, and yet allowing them to still have dreams. It can only take someone who survived the shit show and the horror show and the atrocity. God damn it, I know that I slur these words, but you know what I'm saying. You know what I mean, right? Survived something very similar that we're going through today. That's right. I compared the president to Adolf Hitler. But here's the thing. Hitler didn't make it in America. Hitler didn't have Twitter. Hitler, well, let's just say that Trump is the dying breed of what is going to eventually be gone, because it don't matter. There's a whole new generation of people with a lot more accessibility and a lot more knowledge, and a lot of them know their background already, who just aren't going to put up with it. And that's going to lead in maybe 30, 40 years to a systematic change. You can disagree with that, but you're also not on the show. So create, don't hate. That's the one thing that I've found positive that sponsored content and Facebook has to offer, is that cute little thing. It even looks nice. It's purple. It's a great color. I'll take a purple banner over a golden toilet any day. You know, but so, you know, I recently did this little funny thing where I have a new song out. Please listen to it if you know where to find it. But I'd like you to find it yourself, because I do like for people to look for my stuff. I like for them to go out and search, because that requires work. Because I do work into doing this, and people want links, and then they tell me, no, too many links. Where's the memes? You know, it's like it's almost forcing somebody to have mass appeal, and just in terms of conversation and charisma. And if you already got that, like me, you already got that ability, you should be above some petty competition. So yeah, Baby Yoda. This is stupid. This is something a lot of podcasts are making a tragic mistake in doing to generate views, even though they already have sponsored content. They already have a means of... They already have paid for the advertising. What is really advertising is what these people are doing, like that he guy, the racist guy. Well, he's a Jew, but he said the racist black word, and I didn't like that guy, but I did find the thing he said about Papa John's funny. So that, you know, that we're all changing. This now, the time is now. Baby Yoda, this is just, it's stupid. Come on. What the fuck? The worst part is, and again, fuck Disney, is that Disney loves this shit. That's what Baby Yoda represents, is what Disney is all about. The sentimentality. Bringing people closer together, but really bringing white families together. But that's changed. It's changed because, I mean, shit, I didn't see the Disney having any involvement with that new Lion King one, and let me explain to you why they didn't have anything involved in it. It's because it was in the hands of a director, Jon Favreau, who kind of doesn't, care to be in the Disney gang. But we have people. This is the main point of this whole thing that I want to talk about. Why do we have to love? We have to glamorize and appreciate someone that's just successful, that just plays this game. What is that we have? I hear so many arguments about numbers. Talking about money that you don't have. So this to me seems like a real achievement for them, for the rich. Not even going to call them the 1%. I'm just going to say the rich. It's a big achievement because that reassures them that they're doing something right.
And that has a lot to do with a guy like me.
So when you do this, when you have the admiration, the same way that Kid Rock has the admiration for Trump, and he's saying, like, let him run it like a fucking business, I don't give a fuck. You know what happens is that they start comparing you, and if you just, all things must pass, all waves end. The baby Yoda hysteria will end. What the fuck? You guys suck. Like, not you for, like, doing a meme like, like when I get caught jerking off and it's baby Yoda, I mean, this shit is funny. It's really, it works. But what else can it do? So that's a part of me promoting my new album, The Day of Reckoning. Shit. I gotta keep this together. I gotta... The Day of Reckoning. Dude, the Papa John's guy was in the interview, and he's going like he's getting really serious. And he said, stay tuned. That's a great marketing guy. Now that is a fucking entertainer right there. That is like athlete good. He said the racist thing, but he's saying that it's, hold on a second, it's the Colonel. Everyone knows the Colonel talks like that. Like, it's no secret that corporate white people have a certain way of mentioning that, I don't, I don't want to say it in a funny way. It's really not, this shit is really not funny to me. Baby Yoda can't make this stop. Disney Plus, and Disney is canceling The Simpsons, which is, it sucks. Because I recently saw a recent episode of The Simpsons where they talk about a globalized technological age. Data. This is a term that it's going to be really useful for you in your business ventures. You want to pitch anything to anybody and make it work? Use the 2 words. Data grab. I mean, it's more common for, even my little brother can understand the concept, so, your ass going to whatever fucking school should too. You're in school for business, get the fuck out right now. Just say data grab, just buy shirts, make some merch. Data grabber. I mean, it works. It's startup companies and all this stuff. Look at what happened. Look what it amounted to. Shit. Just fuck robocalls. Thank God I'm going to be uninsured. I hate going to doctors and hospitals. It's a big scam. They don't help. It's lame. I don't believe in that. Bullshit. Fuck that. I've found other more exciting ways to, let's just say, cope. It's no secret. But not right now. There's a time and place for that. I kind of get sick of all that. The drinking and I've gone all these rehabs and these AA things and this bullshit, which I mentioned in the song Day of Reckoning. I'm working on a new project. I don't want to talk too much about it because I want it to be exciting for you. It's called the Jazz Twins, collaboration with a friend of mine. It's not a fake band. I know I do the fake band thing a lot. I'm pretty good at that. I guess you can mention my background in acting and theater, and also my elaborate marketing abilities, and my background in communications, which was really just telemarketing and being an associate producer for some interesting but also very boring projects. And I was very vocal about it. You really should be. You have the right to be. As long as you're doing your job, right? Because it's bragging. This money thing, this, oh, but they did that, but they bought that. But why be shocked by that? You know, that's stupid. It's dumb. And maybe I don't have enough words to describe it, but it's predictable, and it's frustrating, it's sad. But we can get through this. Weakness. Let's talk about that for a minute. Vulnerability and having emotions are human things. They are not weaknesses. So what weakness really is believing others' ideas of it. At least to me. Again, that's my opinion. Not trying to be inspirational, but I will tell you this. I am writing this self-help book in the form of recorded sound, and it's called, working title, it's a collaboration between the Jazz Twins and myself, The Beginner's Guide to Disillusionment. And I did meet a nice person who I guess was connected to a, let's just say, talent, celeb. I think that this was misunderstood, but I think that I didn't really show interest in working with the person because I wasn't interested in gloating and doing this bragging thing that I kind of tried to begin this conversation out with, this show out with. I don't believe in that. I just don't believe in that. Because I want people to, like I said last show, why it doesn't it make it a little less exciting when you find the reality of audiences being generated comes from a system of sponsorship and ads? I mean, that's the original shit posting. So create. Or hate. But I can't even tell you, I can't even try to force you on this public domain to create and not hate. But what I will do is share with you. This is the song coming from the new album, upcoming, and let's just call it a audio manual for people struggling with anxiety and depression, especially in terms of fitting in. The Day of Reckoning, presented by Mr. Pope, but a song by an upcoming old-fashioned duo, the Jazz Twins. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Day of reckoning, I can only make it succeed in your favor, 'cause you're my favorite liar. Maybe it's time to settle down. Maybe it's time to settle down, like your friends who now turned into clowns. Making more money off you, making a slave 'cause it's true. You never get ahead in life. They'll work to bring you down, cashing the check so you can run to the ground. Leave from the office and go straight to the dope fiends underground. You say you're from the streets, 'cause you wore the same clothes 1 week. You came down here for rehab, now you're doing crack in a hotel suite. Still telling me not to drink, you must think I'm too dumb not to think. You bragging about your Maybach, what you're doing there in the hotel suite. That's what it takes to work with me. That's what it takes, not hypocrisy. I don't care what kind you try at the age of 60. For the day of reckoning, deadbeat recovery. For the day of reckoning, with the deadbeats in recovery. I can tell there's something wrong with you, despite that face tattoo. Yes, I know there's something wrong with you, not just the face tattoo.